Hey guys, and welcome back to Quick Hunts. Sorry for the lackluster intro, but this one is going to be painful. FurWind is a side-scrolling adventure platformer for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I was given a review copy for Switch, so thanks Jandusoft. I hope you don't kill me for this. In FurWind, you play as a fox named FurWind, who must traverse the world saving his friends and comrades from the many evils that inhabit the land. It's a platformer with a relatively simple story, so not too surprising. However, the gameplay is mixed. FurWind can jump, double jump, and even triple jump by bouncing off enemies. That being said, he can't simply jump on enemies as that damages FurWind. You have to ground pound them, which can make bouncing off enemies difficult. He also has a tail attack, which has a very short range and is honestly kind of weak. Also, it has an energy meter, so you can't use it all the time. Fun. As you play through the game, you'll unlock special abilities such as a dash move. These special abilities use their own power bar and can only be refilled by dying or grabbing a pickup to replenish it. Like I said, FurWind is a side-scrolling adventure platformer, meaning that it's got your standard platforming stages that have multiple paths. The best examples I can give are 90s-style PC platformers like Jazz Jackrabbit and Commander Keen, having expansive stages that don't go overboard on exploration. In this regard, the game does this well, as stages never overstay their welcome. There's also plenty of checkpoints that can be used to save the current stage progress. They can even be used consecutive times, but that increases coin cost. The standard level's main goal is to grab 2 pieces of an amulet. Getting the amulets requires doing puzzles or fighting mini-bosses that are honestly kinda strong. Once you've collected both pieces, the stage exit door reveals itself. The game even gives you an indicator of where the exit is, so that's nice. The standard stages themselves are not bad, and even introduce some interesting gameplay mechanics, like the fireflies providing light in a dark cave, or the lava puzzles. The real issue is the challenge stages. Now, the ones where you need to take on a wave of enemies to save someone are fine. The issue is the ones that require getting an orb. One in particular requires you to be precise with the jumping mechanics, as you need to ground pound enemies for a triple jump. This was not easy, as many times the double jump after a ground pound didn't work right. This is where the controls started to show their issues to me. The entire time I was finding the game incredibly difficult. I'm very familiar with platformers, and it is common that many mistakes in those type of games are on the player. However, as I played on, it seemed less and less to be just my own lack of skill, and more that the game is just really hard and not for the right reasons. Take for example, what you have to work with. You start initially with 3 hit points, which is fine as many games give you that or less, but that compiled with the amount of stuff they throw at you, a short-range weak attack that has a cooldown, being unable to jump on enemies as an attack, and a triple jump that requires precise ground pound timing, it's far more than just skill that's at play. This is a thought that stuck with me the whole game. I remember saying several times, man, this game is hard. Now that's not to say a hard game is necessarily a bad game. However, all those previously mentioned factors compiled together can be frustrating. Gameplay aside, the game's presentation isn't bad. The 16-bit style graphics reminded me of some great Super Nintendo games, and any game that reminds me of my favorite system of all time gets brownie points from me. The animation is very smooth, and the use of motion blur was effective, being used to enhance the motion rather than to hide blemishes in graphical detail. The somewhat cute style is also a bonus for me. Sadly, I must go back into criticism mode, as the sound is another sticking point for me. The music is not bad per se, but incredibly generic. I know I've been saying that a lot in my reviews, but it's a lot more apparent here. It just feels underwhelming. And that's not to say I didn't get what it was going for, but this type of game tends to do better with a more upbeat style soundtrack rather than a sweeping emotional composition. As for the sound effects, they are mixed. Some sounds are okay and match the gameplay, but others are kinda weak. I know this sounds like I'm reaching, but sound is something that can really make or break a feel for a game, just as much as the music can. And I'm sorry, but it didn't feel right to me and affected my overall gameplay experience. It's for these reasons where I didn't have much fun with FurWind. It has its moments, but they were few and far between. Maybe this game wasn't for me. Maybe it's more for the audience who likes hard-as-balls games. And in that regard, it's definitely worth it. For me, though, I'd rather a game be enjoyable and challenging instead of frustrating and impossible. Hey guys, thanks for watching my review of FurWind. Once again, thanks to Jandusoft for the review copy. I appreciate it, and I hope my personal opinion doesn't affect the game's impact. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to my Patreons here on screen, and if you'd like to support my content, get early access to videos, get behind the scenes exclusives, and much more, head on over to patreon.com/Zeromaster and donate as little as $1 Canadian to show your support. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing and hitting that bell to get notifications. Be sure to also follow me on Facebook at Zeromaster Fanpage, on Twitter at Zeromaster, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zeromaster, where I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Still want more? Why not check out my previous review on the left? And on the right, check out the newest episode of $5 Gaming from SCXCR. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.